All right, what's up, guys? The match that I'm going to be breaking down today is from one of my brown belts, Chase Hanna. He did the BJJ Fanatics brown belt invitational that they did, and it was like within the last, like, I don't know, like 6 or 8 months or whatever. But in this match, he fought Cody Steele from Texas, from the Brazilian Fight Factory gym. Really accomplished black belt, combat jiu-jitsu world's champion. He's been on a ton of invitationals, beat a lot of high-profile guys. This is the second time Chase has fought Cody, so yeah, like we kind of had like the blueprint. Chase has beaten him before, and got to watch him grapple a lot that night. This was the semifinal match, so I'd seen Cody do maybe 3 or 4 matches prior to this. Chase had also done 3 or 4 matches prior to this, so kind of had a good idea about what was going on with him going into this match. So we had a really clear cut strategy, and I'm gonna try to break this down for you guys today. So we start out here. Cody likes to wrestle. So once I get this going, hold on a second, we'll mute that. Uh, Cody likes to wrestle. He likes to stay on his feet. He doesn't like to play off of his back very much. He passes a lot, plays a top position, looks to control and advance. So the game was a lot of cross snaps. So you'll see here in this position, right away, you'll notice that Chase's hand here is, over the top. He got a collar tie. He has a wrist tie here. The game is going to be to see if he can keep this leg back off balance, Cody, and pull his head down into that space. So here we're going to be pulling the head down in this direction towards that leg where there's no base. You notice that Cody's stance, his leg here is the rear leg, so that means that all this space is open to pull the weight down into, right? So you'll watch Chase, he'll do a couple of cross snap attempts to get into the front headlock with that same technique. So here we go again, same thing, looking for another cross snap. Watch as Cody shifts his legs. Chase is going to shift the side he does his cross snap on. Now Cody's keeping like Cody, Chase makes a mistake, wrong stance, doesn't even get the slightest bit of progress into the cross snap. So watch what he does now. See, nothing, wrong foot, a little kazushi here, and then boom, big dramatic snap, cross snap. So that's what he was looking for here. Cross snaps to get Cody into the front headlock. Knowing Cody wants to wrestle, that's a good strategy. He'll hit a little fake foot sweep here to get Cody to step back, and then another cross snap. So you'll notice a lot of pummeling here. Chase trying to work back to those controls, keeping the inside space. Boom, cross snap attempt there. Little fake foot sweep here to get him to clear the leg. Well, nothing. And then we go back to work. Back to the inside. Notice Chase's left hand keeps pummeling back to the inside. Chase trying to set him up. Boom, cross snap again. Cody takes dominant hand positioning, so Chase pulls guard. Now, really important here, this is basically what determines the match with Cody. Cody likes to play on top. He wants to be on top. He wants to pressure. He wants to press his game, wear you out, whatever. Up until this point in the tournament, I think Cody had only submitted guys in overtime, and this is an EBI rules tournament. So, in this point in time in the match, we weren't really worried too much about submission threats from Cody, not because he's not a good grappler or anything, but just because he wasn't really like executing throughout the tournament. So at this point, our secondary plan, if the snaps into the front headlock weren't going to work, was to use Sumo gaeshi to put him on his back. So from this point, Cody sat with an underhook. So you guys will see this. You guys will see this underhook right here that Cody took. Okay. So because Cody takes this underhook, Chase is going to work an overhook Sumo gaeshi. So he's going to dig, first things first, he's going to dig this overhook in, okay? And then you'll notice down here is Cody's hand. Cody's hand's on the mat. Not this right side hand of Cody's, but his left hand is on the mat. So Chase is going to take a left side overhook. He's going to angle his hips out in this direction Then he's going to take his right hand and grab that bottom wrist of Cody's, and he's going to start to look to hit Cody with overhook Sumo gaeshi, which is an extremely powerful technique, probably the best butterfly sweep in the game. And this was our secondary if Cody decided to, if he was too, I guess, hesitant on the feet and wouldn't really press in with Chase. So then, Sumo gaeshi here. So what we see now is Chase start looking for his Sumo gaeshi. So right there, boop, perfect. We notice right away, Chase has already got his overhook here. He's fighting for the wrist. So you see Chase's hand through here, and then you see Cody's elbow going back up here because Chase is following that wrist, right? So let's see how this goes. Boom. Sumo gaeshi. So now Chase has put Cody on his back. This is where Cody doesn't want to be in the match. Cody never really plays off of his back in competition if you watch him. And again, it's not that he has like a bad guard or anything. It's strategic. You know what I mean? It's better for him to be on top. It's better for him to push the pace and be controlling. It's going to be easier for him to wear Chase down. Now Chase is in position exactly where we want it to be in this match. Chase has an overhook, which is less than ideal, but that's okay. So what you guys are going to see as he moves forward, Chase is going to cross face, control the inside space on the head so that Cody can't follow that underhook up. And then he's going to start attacking that bottom wrist. We'll start to see just in a moment. Chase is going to take his right hand and collect the bottom wrist of Cody. You see how Chase is using his elbow to control the inside space. So right here. So now what we see with these two guys is we see Chase's knee. Okay, so let's get this down here in the bottom corner. So we see Chase's knee is here, right on the inside. So right in there, it's against Cody's hip bone. So Cody can't bring his bottom knee for a knee elbow in this position at all. Okay. We also see Chase's hand here on the wrist controlling Cody's arm so that Cody can't bring his elbow down towards his knee. So there's no knee coming up, no elbow coming down. So as Chase continues to try to pass Cody's guard, this is the space between Cody's armpit and Cody's hip bone that Chase is going to have to occupy if he expects to pin Cody at all, right? But the game here isn't necessarily to try to pin Cody in side control. It's just to create this orientation, okay? The overall strategy for Cody, and we know that Cody likes to wrestle up, so he's going to use underhooks to come up on single legs. That means he's going to lead with his head. So Chase has an exceptional arm in guillotine. So in this match, the strategy here is to occupy this space, leaving Cody no choice but to either knee elbow or come up head first. At this point in the match, we thought head first was the best way to go. So he's going to come up. Chase is going to overwrap the head, and he's going to go into arm and guillotine attacks on Cody. All of this is to put Cody into a situation where if Cody doesn't make that move, Chase is going to pass his guard into a deep side control with inside position, which Cody understands well because Cody's a good top player. So if we let the match continue, we will see what Chase does. So here's Chase, knee on the ground, wrist here. You'll see Cody start to work to try to come up. And so at this point in time, Chase is just waiting for Cody's head to breach the line of his shoulder here. As soon as Cody's head drops below the line of the shoulder, Chase is going to make his move for his arm in guillotine. And because Chase has the inside position, Cody's going to have a very hard time controlling Chase as he comes up. Well, we get our first attack. Now, Chase sits in. Now, here we go. Chase sits in to try to get hip-to-hip connection for his guillotine. But the problem here is that Cody, and you can't see exactly in this position, but Cody's arm here is hugging Chase's shin, okay? So I'm going to let this play a little bit so you guys can see that right away. Right there. All right, now we can see. So now you guys can see right here, Cody's hugging Chase's shin to try to keep Chase from scooting his hips in to get hip-to-hip on Cody, which is extremely smart because if Chase could get hip-to-hip on Cody, it would be a wrap. It would be over. Chase is keeping his other leg out for the reason that if Cody continues to pass, right? So if Cody continues to pass to the side of Chase's body and can get inside the space here between his armpit and his hip bone, Cody's going to be safe, right? So what Chase is doing with this leg is A, it's like a counterweight to keep Cody off balance, but also B, he can plant that foot and hip heist back up to the front headlock if Cody starts to put him in too much danger here. So again, we continue here down the path. We watch what happens. Cody controls the leg, and then here, boom, Chase is back up in the front headlock. He sits through again. Boom, same scenario again. Now, what's different this time, okay, is Cody is not doing a good job anymore of controlling Chase's legs here. As you guys can see, the legs are completely free. However, Cody is attempting to run his hips around Chase's head to try to relieve this position, okay? Now, if Cody can keep taking his hips around this way, Chase is going to have a very hard time finishing his guillotine. So what Chase needs to do is hurry up and hip heist up and get back to his parallel position with Cody so that he can get back into his front headlock. So what you guys are going to see right away is Chase realizes that he presses his hips off the ground. So you guys are going to see he'll continue to drive his hips up in this direction to off balance Cody so that he can twist his hips back to the mat. So now we follow him again. Boom, boom. And here we are, back in the front headlock again. Now, not best front headlock, but it is a front headlock. Chase hits through one more time. We see the exact same exchange. Now, this time, Cody's done a great job of not allowing Chase's leg, this leg here, to go to the mat. So there won't be a hip heist here for Chase. Now, Chase could power through this, but Cody's a strong athlete. He's not trying to wear himself out against Cody. The headlock is only one part of the game plan against Cody. So let's not, get too far out. So from this position, Chase is losing his ability to hip heist. Now, Cody's not doing anything to stop Chase from bringing this leg into to get hip to hip on him. So Chase could have done that, but I think Chase being caught up in the moment, it being such a high intensity scramble, he's probably not trying to wear himself out in that same way again. So what you guys are going to see now is Cody start to pop his head out of this guillotine. Chase is going to start making crossbody posts, stealing the inside position from Cody to neutralize him. And then we restart the game again with butterfly guard Sumo gaeshi. So once we get that going, the head pops here. Chase makes a crossbody post. All right, super important right here. So when you guys are here and people are escaping your guillotine attempt and they have crossbody orientation with you, meaning their head was on one side, their hips were on the other side of your body, it's very important that you guys steal the inside space back as quick as possible before your opponent is able to get into the space here between your hip here and your armpit. It's extremely important that you guys do this. So what you see from Chase right now is a good crossbody post here, blocking Cody from getting chest to chest with him. You see Chase already reaching down, starting to knee elbow on the bottom side to counteract this grip from Cody, where Cody's trying to push his knee. And you also see, and one of the most important and underutilized things in guard play, especially in high-level competition, is this top leg right here is already pummeling back to the inside so that Chase can maintain a knee elbow here and put a hook back inside to stop Cody's progress. So there's a lot going on right here, and it just simply looks like they neutralize and doesn't look like much. But I promise you, to stop Cody Steele from passing your guard on a failed guillotine attempt, take some pretty tight guard work, and Chase did a fantastic job at this moment of displaying that kind of guard work. So we'll continue. So now what we see is Chase pummeling, and here. All right. So now we know Cody is a sucker for the Sumo gaeshi. We know that. But in Cody's mind, at this point in time, the only Sumo gaeshi threat he's felt came off of an overhook. So at this point, Cody's deciding, well, okay, I'm going to deal with this butterfly guard again. I'm not going to dive in head first and stick this right side underhook in because that's what got me swept the last time. I'm going to play a little more conservative and sit back. But here's the thing. The Sumo gaeshi is twice as strong from this position when you have the underhook, not the overhook. So what Cody felt the first time around was a weaker Sumo gaeshi than what was waiting for him here when he allowed Chase to make this left arm underhook. So what we see here is we see this left arm underhook go up. Chase is going to control the cap here. He's already fighting down here to grab Cody's wrist, okay? The only thing Chase is missing right now is head positioning. But other than that, he's already got his angle here, right? This is the angle he'd like. He's got a rounded back, okay? So he's ready to go. All he needs to do is off-balance Cody a little bit, collect the wrist, and then the space will be there for everything else. So we're going to let this ride. And now what you see is Cody sliding off the angle here. He slides off the angle, okay, because he doesn't want that Sumo gaeshi attack. Chase sees Cody slide off the angle, keeps his underhook, and uses it to snap Cody while he slides his hips back and collect another front headlock here, okay? So this was the game against Cody. It was front headlock attacks and Sumo gaeshi attacks to get him onto his back, okay? So let's see how Chase uses this in this moment. Now, look at this exchange we see here, where Cody was unable to use his arms to block Chase's leg from penetrating. The one good thing that Cody has going for himself right now is this knee elbow that he's created for himself right here. This knee elbow is a big deal. It stops Chase from over wrapping the hip here, okay? So he can't create a wrapping hook with his left leg because of Cody's knee elbow. So we'll see, how this goes. And there it is. Chase uses the front headlock to bring Cody over and put him back on his back. And now we've created a whole new dilemma for Cody. The last time in the guillotine, it may not have looked like much, but Cody almost went to sleep in the guillotine. Like the guillotine was very tight the first time around. Chase just couldn't get his hips connected to really get control of Cody and make him tap. But even Cody, even after the match, Chase was talking about Cody. It was like, man, it's a very tight guillotine. Whatever. It was a very tight guillotine. So the guillotine was set. It was just that Chase couldn't control the hips enough to keep him in position to finish. So make no mistake, guys. When chokes are in, guys will survive chokes. They'll get away, but it doesn't mean that they're not choking while their neck is over wrapped. You know what I mean? And so that's what we see here. So Chase is back, and now Cody's thinking, okay, here comes this guillotine again. Now the problem for Cody this time versus the last time is Chase has inside position here and he's past the guard. This is a huge problem for Cody because securing hip-to-hip connection for Chase from this position is way easier than when Chase was trying to sit underneath Cody, and Cody could use explosive movement to keep Chase from creating hip-to-hip connection. So now what we're going to see is Chase start to progress, but there's a specific dilemma that happens when someone's on top of you, past your guard, and they're attacking your neck. That dilemma is now, obviously you want to avoid, hip-to-hip connection, but if you start bringing your legs in, you're going and you put your knees in between their hips and your hips, you start to give them position to attack your legs. You give them the flank on your leg, and anytime you're on the flank here, anytime you're on the flank on the outside of the leg on one side or the other, you have entries into inside leg attacks, okay? And so now Cody's dilemma is, do I drive up into the guillotine, okay? Do I try to flatten and hope he doesn't get hip-to-hip connection, right? Which is not a good bet at all. Or do I try to bring my knees in to push away since my arms are basically dead in this position? So it's an extremely difficult dilemma, and Chase happens to have an exceptional arm and guillotine as well as an exceptional heel hook attack. So we'll see how we go from here. So now we see Cody using his legs to try to stop Chase. Chase lets go of that front headlock and goes back into the same position we were in earlier, where he's setting Cody up to either bring his legs in or his head in. So in this position, in order for Cody to escape, he either has to come up again like he did the first time and drive straight up into Chase in this direction with his head underneath Chase's arm, which feeds right back into that arm in guillotine, okay, which is a huge problem for Cody. Or Cody can lay his head back down and he can try to bring his legs, which are behind Chase, underneath Chase's hips to create a barrier in front of Chase's hips to try to steal back some inside space from Chase to keep him from passing the guard. The first time Cody went here and we saw what happened. Now Cody's attempting to play more of a guard and bring his legs in to stop Chase. But that only opens up his legs to be attacked since Chase has the inside position. So what we're going to start to see is we're going to start to see Chase bring this foot towards the inside position on Cody's legs so that he can enter into an Ashigarami attack on Cody's top leg, which is extremely vulnerable in this position. So here's Cody. He's keeping his head back. Chase obviously feels that with his arm here. He's trying not to dive back on that headlock again. And now watch what Chase does here. You see Cody's what you see here, you see Cody's knee. You see this knee right here. This is the knee we're talking about. This gap that you see here is where the inside space is opened up from Chase's leg being inside. That's where this foot is going to go into this inside space so that this knee can go behind Cody's thigh and shelf his leg for an ashigarami attack. And again, you see Cody here, hesitant, keeping his head far away from Chase's arm. In this position, you see Chase trying to drive Cody's head down, keeping his head a little higher than Cody's head. When Chase's head is higher than Cody's head in this position, it makes it hard for Cody to come up without dealing with this front headlock situation, right? So you see him kind of putting his head down on the backside of Cody's head here, which is a really smart play on Chase's part because it kind of guides Cody in the direction Chase would like for him to go. Now, one thing I'll say is really smart from Cody is Cody's trying to dominate the hand. Cody is trying to dominate this position, which is extremely smart because Chase is going to have to overwrap that head if Cody starts coming back up again. And so at this point in time, I was thinking like, maybe Cody's going to try it again. And he's just going to try to keep this dominant hand position so that Chase can't wrap the head again whenever he comes back through. You see Chase roll the wrist out, change the grip. One-on-ones are very hard to deal with. Now, here's the thing, guys. This is a really important detail. When Cody was controlling Chase's wrist, when Cody's hand was there, it's very difficult for Cody to keep that one-on-one grip because the gap in Cody's grip faces Chase's hips. Okay, so Chase is going to be stronger as he breaks Cody's grip towards his hips. Once Chase rolls the grip, like you guys just saw, and Chase makes his grip, this grip that we have currently, it's a closed grip. You see how Chase's thumb out? So the end of Chase's thumb is here next to the mat, and the end of his fingers are here next to the mat. And the mat is actually the closed section of the grip. So now Cody actually doesn't have any way of breaking this grip efficiently. What Cody would need to do is create a crossbody post here, right? So Cody would need to create a crossbody post, push Chase's shoulder over his hand, so it needs to come out over his hand so that Cody could then take a lot of that wedging pressure where Chase is leaning in and wedging down into the mat here. He would need to take that pressure off of it so he can move his hand around. But Cody, it's extremely difficult to do since Cody has an underhook and his arm is down here wrapped around Chase's leg like he's going to go for a single, which he, I'm sure, at some point in time was considering. So this was extremely smart by Chase. This is how Chase is dominating him efficiently in this position. So now we see Chase here, still monitoring the inside position. He's lifting up on Cody's arm to create a little bit of extra space for his foot to go in. Now, it's important to notice, okay, Chase's head lifting away from Cody now, okay? Chase will need to lift his head to be able to bring his foot in. Does that make sense? Like he'll need to be able to posture as he brings his foot in. If Chase leans forward and puts his head on the mat to put his foot in, it makes his hips light and it'll make it easy for Cody to move. You see that Cody's knee is extremely open right now. And that's due to the fact that Chase is driving his knee down, making space for his other foot to come in. Now we see it. Cody makes the mistake of coming forward as Chase passes the guard. He lets his head breach the line of the arm, and now he's here again. We're in this front headlock attack one more time. Let's see how this one goes. So Chase was thinking go behind here. He was thinking, all right, we tried the guillotine. Cody got a wrap on the hand here. Let's do a go behind. But Cody did a great job of reaching out and blocking Chase's hips here. Now Cody sits back into his guard. He's got a butterfly hook here, so he's on the inside, on the right side. His other leg is tucked under. You see Chase stealing the inside position with his hand here and collecting Cody's head to keep Cody from extending his body away. It's really important that Chase controls the line of the head here to keep Cody from extending his body away. It's extremely hard to pass someone's guard if they constantly bring their upper body away from you. We see Chase trying like a variation of different like inside position passing, dealing with Cody's crossbody post, trying to smash it down. So here's the thing, guys. When you're knee slice passing, the knee slice is almost impossible if someone has a strong crossbody post, right? This right here. It's almost impossible. So Chase doesn't want this crossbody post to exist because he'd like to go chest to chest with Cody. Okay? So right here, the line of this hand, if this hand can make it all the way up to this shoulder up here, he's got a nice crossbody post. If this hand stays here on this side, Chase can then take his chest and drop it on top of Cody's chest, which is not what Cody wants at all. So you notice Chase kind of mitigating this, crossbody post here. It's an extremely important detail, guys. You really can't deal with this. You can't blow through this very easily. Chase is doing a great job of controlling that hand. So we'd see him push it down. We see him start stealing space with his head. Cody puts it right back, though, which is extremely smart on Cody's part. You see Chase mess with it a little more, and then you'll see him start to opt for, different attacks here. All right, great. This is a big detail, guys. What Chase just did. What we saw was Cody with his knee in front of Chase's hip, which stops all of Chase's hip progression. What Chase did was he popped his knee up to open Cody's knee, and he stole the inside space with this hand. Now Chase has this sort of knee elbow position here, where his elbow and his knee are coming together, and he controls the inside space on Cody's hip. This is huge for controlling the inside space in this knee cut position. You see Cody put it right back as soon as he realizes that that's a big deal. Cody's still making that crossbody frame. Chase still looking to try to get a little more chest to chest with him. So now what we see, guys, is the same position we saw before, but on the opposite side. So we were seeing this before on the other side. Now we're looking at it on this side. And Chase is still playing the same exact game. Chase has his knee to the inside, blocking the hip, and he's looking for Cody's hand or Cody's head here. If Chase can get chest to chest with a crossface, Cody's in a lot of trouble right now. Cody is doing a great job of trying to keep this crossbody post going, but it's very difficult at this point. If Chase can get his hand, bring his hand out here on the mat, Cody's going to be in the same dilemma he was in earlier. And we see Chase collect the hand right there. He's moving back towards that position. You see him steal the inside space here again. The thing about what Cody's doing right now is he's not off balancing Chase in any direction. All Cody's really doing is pushing him back. So you see how Chase is able to just reset this position over and over and over with all the controls that he wants. He's got the hand now. Like, it just keeps getting worse and worse for Cody because Cody's not misdirecting Chase's balance at all. Like, he's not turning him to the other side. He could use knee levers here to off balance Chase and then go back in the other direction. There's a lot of things Cody could have done right here to stop Chase from being able to sit in this position and create these dilemmas against him. But Cody made no attempt to steal the inside space back with his bottom arm, and he also made no attempt to off-balance Chase. He's basically just shoving at him with like these hands on the chest. And all that's really going to do is wear Cody out over time and allow Chase to keep resetting this position. One of the big things that Cody's doing here that's really hard to deal with is he's allowing Chase to put his knee on the ground, which creates a strong post on the inside of Cody's hip and keeps Cody from being able to move very much from the bottom position. So it's not good for Cody to allow all this to happen, but it's one of those things. It happened in this match, and I'm sure Cody's a lot better now, but in this position it was rough. Chase working to the inside here, working his hands to the inside, trying to get his hand to the inside tie on the inside of Cody's bicep there, but it wasn't working out too well. So here we go. We see Cody try to switch sides. Chase goes into an open guard passing position. We see some leg pummeling from Chase and from Cody. And now Chase tries to outflank, fails the outflank, and he starts just building back into that position because he knows that Cody's not really going to be able to answer that position, right? Now watch what happens here. Cody's going to let Chase put his knee on the ground again, right? Chase is going for that bottom wrist again. This time Cody senses it a little bit, tries to push it back out. But look what Chase does. He grabs the wrist again. It's extremely difficult for Cody to do anything about that knee when Chase keeps sticking his hand out on the mat. it's smart that Cody's trying to put this lever back in, but it's not going to mean much when Chase's knee keeps going to the mat, you know? So we see Cody extending his body away. This would have been a good time for Chase to go over the top of the head. All right, so here we are again. Same exact thing. Chase working his hand up to grab Cody's wrist again. Knee on the mat. Cody not doing anything to stop that at all. No crossbody post yet. Chase's hand drifting to the inside position. Okay. Also notice the amount of space that's here in this position, right? Where Chase could now take this foot and bring it into that space right there and create an ashigarami attack on Cody. You notice that Chase hasn't been collecting Cody's head as much in these dilemmas. It was kind of a missight, I think, because it would have stopped Cody from straightening out his back and taking away that space that Chase needed to pass and control Cody. But if Cody keeps posturing away and pushing with this knee, what's going to happen is he's going to push Chase's hips back. Chase is going to flip his hips and go into an ashigarami attack. So this is the dilemma that he's now faced with. You notice that Cody hasn't driven up on an underhook in the last couple minutes of the match because he knows that that headlock attack is waiting for him when he drives up. Cody's switched to now pushing away with the legs. Once he starts pushing away with the legs, he's opening himself up to leg attacks. So now Chase has effectively put Cody in a dilemma where Cody knows if he gives him the head, he gets that arm in guillotine. If he gives him his legs, they're going to be leg attacks. So now we'll see how this plays out for Chase. Wrist, smashes the crossbody post. Chase starts climbing through. Now look, here's another weird little situation. Because Cody keeps stretching his body away, what Chase has done now is he's grabbed this wrist. Now Chase's right arm is going through Cody's leg and going down here to grab the wrist through the leg. Now Chase's left arm comes in. He's got a 2-on-1. If Cody isn't careful in this position, Chase can now take his hips and bring them out and around the corner like he's going north-south, and he'll have a Kimura on this top arm. His left arm will rotate. His right arm will keep the arm trapped. And not only that, but he'll stop this knee from extending as he goes around the corner because the arm is trapped through the inside of it. Chase tries to make that attack here once. Got the 2-on-1. Cody slips it. So he starts going for it again. Again, this is an attack against an extended upper body. You see Chase posturing, trying to get his knee back to the mat, collecting Cody's wrist. Now watch what happens as Cody extends again. Chase is back in his position that he liked before. Knee on the mat, hand outside. He starts to work his arm back down, his right arm work back through. He's going to look for that same position. And now here we go. So we will actually rewind this one just a smidge. So what do we see here? Okay, we see Cody pressing away here. We see Cody pressing away with his leg, trying to drive Chase's hips. But I want you guys to take note of the amount of space. Look at Cody's leg. It's stretched out completely. This leg is going to insert extremely easily at this point in time. Right there, you see it. What does Chase do? Chase has this arm completely stretched out. Cody cannot attempt any sort of knee elbow, any sort of control over the inside space here, okay? You see Chase take his outside leg and flip it to the inside. So now here's Cody's leg, there's Chase's foot. So Chase's foot is on the inside. We see this knee that was posted on the mat flip back, and we see this overhook that Chase had because he couldn't get the inside space on the top of the body, cup the backside of the knee and the calf and lift so that this leg can now shoot underneath for an ashigarami attack. What's going to happen here is Cody is going to be late to react because he was pushing Chase. So Cody is a misdirection on Chase's part against Cody. Now when Chase sits into this, his ashigarami is going to be extremely tight, and he's going to have an immediate bite on Cody's heel because Cody's heel is on the top side of Chase's body. Now here's the thing. When you're not pinning the foot with your body weight, the outside heel can be harder to break, but it's much easier to bite when it's on the top side of the body as opposed to when it's pinned under your body. So Chase has an advantage over Cody in the biting aspect. Like when he goes into his digging mechanics, it's going to be very clean for him. But the breaking mechanics are going to be a little harder here, right? But it's not going to mean much in this match because Cody, I think, just got a little. He freaked a little bit and he might have tapped a little early, so Chase didn't have to create real breaking pressure, which is great because we didn't have to see anyone get hurt. But this was extremely technically precise on Chase's part. There it is. So now we see Chase opt to use a an elbow trap on the foot. Okay, this is not an overhook; it's an elbow trap. Okay, he's got his foot on the inside position here, so Cody can't close that space off at all, and he still has the hand trapped on the mat, which is extremely smart because Cody can't use that hand yet for any sort of defensive maneuvers. Okay. Now we see Chase fall right away into the pin. So the thing is here is Chase needs to stop Cody from being able to get up in this position, right? So if Cody tries to get up in this position, it's going to be difficult for Chase to create any kind of break here. So Chase falls immediately, taking his left knee and driving it into Cody's hips to pin his hips to the mat and pulling with his right foot back towards his hips to keep Cody from slipping away. Now, here's what we're talking about. This was the biggest technical error on Cody's part throughout the entire exchange here on the leg. Cody went from turning in the correct direction to hide his heel, okay, in a position where it would have been extremely easy for him to push this foot off. And he switched directions. He posts here on the mat with his left hand. So this hand goes to the mat, and he attempts to take his body in this direction. Okay, you see how this knee's bowed out because his hips are twisting in that direction to his right. What that does is that exposes the heel here. And now what you'll note is that Chase, when he was digging out, when Cody made this mistake, it allowed Chase to trap the pad of the foot inside the bicep. There's no pinky toe. There's no miscurl here. Everything is lined up exactly how Chase would like for it to be. And it was kind of like 50% Chase having like a really good digging mechanic in the moment, but also 50% Cody turning the wrong direction, trying to spin out of that heel hook. And so now all Chase really has to do is apply his hips, and he's going to create a devastating amount of pressure on Cody's leg here. So from here we watch him go. Boom, there's the tap. We see the tap come extremely quickly. So we can actually rewind this just a little bit and watch this whole thing play out. So we're seeing the entry. We're going to see Chase drop into his pin. We're going to see Cody turn the wrong direction. Chase is going to get the pad of the foot on the inside of the bicep, and then we're going to see him bridge, and you're going to see Cody tap extremely quickly. And it looks like a really premature tap, but if you turn in the wrong direction in a heel hook against a really strong bite and a good player, you're going to feel that break come on almost instantaneously. There it is. Look at this. Chase's hips driving through the side of Cody's knee. So at this point, what you're seeing is a bite on the heel, pressure over the toes, the shoulder's almost where it needs to be on the mat. The knees are here. We see Cody's knee. Cody's knee now, because Cody's twisting, wants to go in that direction. Okay? Chase's hips are going to blast through Cody's knee and drive his knee in that direction. All right? So we have a foot trap here. The heel and the knee cannot rotate independent of each other. So his heel is being turned in that direction. Okay? His hip, because Cody's turning, is being turned in that direction. What we're seeing now, though, is right in the middle. The weakest point of this position is Cody's knee. It's the one thing that can't rotate. The ankle can twist, the hip can twist, the knee cannot twist. So since the hip wants to go in one direction, the foot wants to go in one direction, Chase's body's in a straight line, meaning it's extremely strong. His posture and his hip placement are going to come into play now, and they're just going to drive straight through his knee in that direction. It's going to be a devastating amount of pressure, and Cody was smart to tap here. Chase lets him go immediately because, obviously no one's here to, we're athletes in the sport, no one's here to injure each other on purpose. It's just, I don't mean on purpose because it would always be on purpose, but I mean, like it'd be bad sportsmanship to automatically try to break his leg regardless of the tap. Chase gives him plenty of time. He taps, and that is the match. Cody's okay, grabs his foot. Obviously, that deep bite on the foot is extremely painful. And since the hip barely touched him, he probably didn't take a lot of damage on the knee, but I'm sure that foot was hurting. So Chase helps him up. That's the semifinals, $10,000 on the line, I think. Good sportsmanship from both players. It's disappointing for Cody, but Chase is an extremely efficient competitor. So no, no shame there. So basically what we saw in this match was an efficient use of snaps, front headlocks, sumo with both over, under, and front headlocks, and then ultimately the front headlock, leg lock dilemma that you can create for somebody once you steal the inside position and you pass their guard. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. This was one of my students' matches, so it was extremely easy for me to speak on what was going on. Thank you guys.